All right, welcome back to the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. Boy, did Le'Veon Bell make a bad decision. Took less money to go to the New York Jets. He sat out an entire year, didn't go to his voluntary training camp that's going on in New York, and now we find out the coach doesn't even want him around anymore, Chris. He made a horrible decision, and I don't even know what's going to happen now with this situation.
Well, NFL insider from over at ESPN, John Clayton, was on the PM team this week, and Pony asked him, is there a chance this guy gets traded before the season even starts? And he said if Adam Gase can find a taker, that's very much in the realm of possibility, which is staggering. I mean, he got X amount of guaranteed money. Adam Gase doesn't want him there. The voluntary workouts thing sticks in my craw. I know people disagree with me. They're voluntary. If you want them to be involuntary because he's a new high-profile player, make them involuntary, except that'll never happen. I actually feel bad for the guy because they can, and he absolutely left tens of millions on the table. So it really sucks to be him right now, and he's probably going to be miserable in New York if he ends up having to stay there.
It's becoming pretty clear that trouble follows Lev Bell wherever Lev Bell goes. And I'm not saying this one is all his fault. Clearly the Jets are something of a dysfunctional organization. This is pretty unprecedented, by the way. I don't remember a GM being let go at this time of year because of something like this. Very unusual, but I think it just goes to show that a lot of people around the league, including people in the Jets organization, did not necessarily feel like giving this guy all this money at 27 years old after he hasn't played in 2 years, has been suspended multiple times, has had very serious injuries. Maybe it wasn't that good of an idea, and maybe, crazy as it sounds, Bell's lucky that he got as much money as he did get.
I got to say this. I know Adam Gase is a losing coach for his NFL career and probably doesn't deserve the power in New York, but he's absolutely right about this. In today's NFL, what are you doing? Paying a running back $13 million a year. You watch the Patriots do it by committee. The Eagles did it the year before, led by LeGarrette Blount, of all people. It's a disposable position. Guys get eaten alive there. Now Todd Gurley's got a deformative knee ligament, and they're on the hook in L.A. for him, $40 million. So Gase is right. You can find cheaper options, fresh legs at the position. And as far as Bell is concerned, Richie, this guy tried to spin it this way. You know, it's not all about money. You want to go where you're wanted. That's where I'm happiest, a team that actually appreciates me. Au contraire, because the coach with this guy.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, that pivot when he clearly got nowhere near the money he would have ultimately gotten here, that pivot looks even worse right now. That's him trying to spin move and getting depleted by Adam Gase. Who, by the way, I hope Gase fails, by the way. Can I just say that, too? I know he hasn't done much in the NFL, like Pony said, but he's right about this one.
Well,
whatever.
You know what we're setting ourselves up for. The Steelers go in there as a 10-point favorite in Week 16 and lose a 16-13 game.
Le'Veon Bell's magnum opus this season, if he's on the Jets, is going to be a 220-yard, 2-touchdown performance to beat the Steelers by himself.
So, Josh, do you think he regrets it? Making a decision not to play with the Steelers, not to sign that deal right now because he wanted to be wanted?
Absolutely, I think he does. If you look at it from a financial reality, sure, he should regret it. The whole thing's been a disaster. His agent clearly isn't exactly the best in the business, and I wish his agent would say, hey, Lev, maybe lay off Twitter for a week. You're just making yourself look dumb. Actually, maybe not. It's good for all of us in our business, I suppose. But it's been a disaster, and yeah, I can see the Steelers losing to the Jets because that's the kind of team they lose to. But what's the over-under for Jets and Raiders total wins this season? It feels like they could both be absolutely disasters. I can't wait for the
you read some power rankings, people think the Raiders are going to be around as good as the Steelers in the preseason.
That's what Peter
here.
King said.
Yeah, the Peter King, who's about as big an authority as there is, he thinks that might be the case. I'll say this, by the way.
I believe it when I see it.
I'm not saying that either guy is quote-unquote a nice guy, but if you were picking between who you'd probably want to be around, Bell or AB, Bell is the better person, but in this case, quote-unquote nice guys finish last because Antonio Brown got more, literally made water or money in this case, guaranteed money, appear from the rock where there was none, and then Le'Veon Bell just got absolutely screwed.
So, Pony, what's your prediction? I mean, John Clayton told you that there's a possibility he could get traded with Bell. Does he stick around in New York? Does he play this year? Do they entertain trades? What's your feeling on that?
I mean, I think anything short of the Jets making the playoffs here and Bell going for like 1,500 yards will lead to him getting dealt next offseason. I mean, you'd think Adam Gase is going to have a big hand in who they hire as a GM. I mean, you hear the rumors that they're trying to get Peyton Manning because him and Gase have a long-standing relationship. So I think short of Bell being like in the MVP conversation and being an all-pro back, he'll be somewhere else in 20.
Gay's hiring Peyton Manning would be pretty rich because he rode Peyton Manning's coattails to going anywhere in the NFL. So Peyton Manning should just get hired and then try to fire Adam Gase at that point. Here's the thing that I don't get about it from the Jets' perspective and from Gase's perspective. I understand he knows that running backs aren't worth paying a ton of money, but now that you've got the guy, if he's right physically, he's going to be a huge help to your second-year quarterback. Like, I would want to use him. You've got him for 2 years where you have to pay him, basically. Run him till the wheels fall off. Throw him, get him out of the babackfield a ton. Why not give this man a ton of touches to help Darnold?
Yeah, what other weapons do they have? I mean,
None.
if you're the Jets, that's your guy. It's not. He might still be a great player. We don't know. He hasn't played in 2 years, but you have to take that chance. You just gave him all the money. I can't imagine they would trade him. That would be a PR disaster.
They were negotiating against themselves for him when it actually came to that time, so who wants him?
Let's see what he can still do.
All right, speaking of negotiating, the Pens are going to have to do some negotiating coming up here in the offseason, and we're talking about Phil Kessel. And we'll start with Josh Yohe when we come back after this break, so stick around.